Hi! This instructional video is about adding and subtracting complex fractions. We did this in Algebra 1 towards the end of the semester, where we talked about simplifying rational expressions. For example, here, we have two different quotients, but they have two different denominators. Now, back in elementary school, your teacher taught you that when you're adding or subtracting two different denominators, or fractions, you're supposed to find the common denominator, or the least common denominator. Well, there's nothing common between this 3 and 4, so what you have to do is say that their least common denominator, if you multiply, is 12. So how do you make the 3 into a 12? Well, you have to multiply 4 to it. But whatever you do downstairs, you do it upstairs. So 4 times 2 is 8. Now, how does 4 become a 12? Well, you have to multiply a 3 to that one. But once again, whatever you multiply downstairs, multiply upstairs, so you get a 3. And then once you have a common denominator of 12, you evaluate the numerator. In this case, becomes 11. Remember that? This is sort of the same thing. Now, what do these two denominators have in common? Well, let me put it to you this way instead. This kid here says, hey, he's got a 4 and I don't. And he has an extra 2. All right, here you go. So what you have to do is, to make things even, give this kid a 4 and an extra 2. I got everything he has. Now this kid then says, hey, that's not fair. Now he has a 5 and I don't. So you have to give him a 5 as well. There you go. I got everything too. So now whatever you give downstairs, you have to give it upstairs. So when you evaluate, what you end up is 2 times 4x, which becomes 8x, over now 20x squared. And over here, hey, I got what you got, hee hee. So 5 times 4x squared becomes 20x squared. See, common denominator? But whatever you did downstairs, multiply a 5, you have to multiply upstairs. So 5 times 6 is 30. So when you evaluate the numerator now, well, you cannot, because they're not like terms. And let's put them in some standard form. So we get 8x plus 30 over the common denominator, which is 20x squared. That's it. Now, why don't you try this one? Okay. So you said, well, he has a 6, he has a 6. Yeah. But does he have an X? No. That's like a G.I. Joe. He has a G.I. Joe with a tank set. It comes as a set. But he wants the individual G.I. Joe. Yeah. So he'll say, I want that individual G.I. Joe. So you have to give him an extra X. You'll see in a minute. Now he says, hey, he's got the 6 and he's got the G.I. Joe, but I don't have the G.I. Joe tank set. So now you have to give him the G.I. Joe with the tank set. Though you cannot break that set apart. You have to buy him as a package. But once again, whatever you give downstairs, you have to give it upstairs. So in this case, for the second quotient, becomes a distributive property. Over here, you have to give him an individual G.I. Joe, so you have to give the upstairs. It's the same thing. So when you evaluate the numerator now, you get 7x. Here, you get a distributive property. Let me do that separately on a scratch paper here. What you end up with the 2 binomial x plus 3 times x minus 2. The FOIL method says x times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. Now the 3. 3 times x is 3x. And 3 times the last term, negative 2 is negative 6. Combine the middle term together. X squared plus 1x, or simply x, minus a 6. So you get a trinomial. So that becomes minus, but now be careful. Be very wary when you have a minus between the quotients. Put them in parentheses. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Now this is going to be all over the common denominator. Everybody now has 6x and x minus 2. So when you do the distributive property with the term outside, you get 6x squared minus 12x. Now, what did we have to put the parentheses here? Because of the minus, when you write it without the quotient, you have to distribute the -1 to all the terms inside, so in turn, the signs change inside. Because that's a -1. Now you combine the rest of the like term, which is 7x and -x. Well, let me go ahead and put the common denominator here. So when you put them in standard form, I hope you can see this. No, you cannot. So let me put that over here instead. So you end up getting -x squared, 7x and minus 1x is 6x, plus a 6 all over 6x squared minus 12x. Okay? Now, how about this guy? What do you think? Okay, you said, hey, that polynomial down here, can I not factor that? And being a thinker you are, you're probably thinking, and this is probably one of the hints. Maybe that's one of the factors when you factor this trinomial. Now, I think that would be a good thought. Here's what I mean. Can that be rewritten as 7 over, and if you factor that, x and x would give me x squared, and 5 times 3 would give me 15 if you multiply, but if they were both positive, wouldn't that add up to become 8 in the middle? And that was one of the hints. Yeah. Now, if you use my silly example about, hey, he has a G.I. Joe like me, but I want the superhero set too. So you have to give him the superhero set to make it into a common denominator. But whatever you give downstairs, yep, you have to give it upstairs as well. So it in turn becomes a distributive property again. Let me bring that over here now since I'm running out of space. So what do I have on top? This guy's totally happy. I'm happy. I got everything I need. 7 over x plus 5 times x plus 3. Now here, let's do this one shot at a time. One shot. That's a -3. Minus 3 is the same as a -3. Times the x is minus 3x. Minus 3 times positive 3 is minus 9 or -9. There you go. With the common denominator of x plus 5 and x plus 3. Now, when you combine the like term, which is 7 and the -9, in standard form, you get -3x minus 2 all over x plus 5, x plus 3. And why don't we just leave it as a factor form for now? And there's my final answer. Now, you try that one. Okay. So you said, oh, there's a hint. There's a binomial that I'm going to probably use to factor this trinomial. And I think you might be right. So let's do it this way. Why don't I do it over here? X squared plus x minus 6. That's like saying x and x. And if that's correct, minus 2. Well, what times -2 will give me -6? It's probably plus 3. Because 3 times -2 is -6. But if I combine those two, it'll give me positive 1, x in the middle, with the 8x minus 1. Now, minus 4 times x minus, hey, he's got what I got, but I want that too. That's not fair. All right. Here you go. But whatever you give downstairs, you give it upstairs. So end up with the distributive property again. And remember, it's a -4. So when you put them all together, you end up with 8x minus 1 minus 4x. And then -4 times positive 3 is -12. All over the factor form of x minus 2, x plus 3, which is a common denominator. So it's just 1. Now evaluate the like term upstairs. 8x and -4x gives me positive 4x. -1 and -12. They add up to become a bigger negative, 13, over the factor form, x minus 2, x plus 3. If on a test you don't see that, all you have to do is probably apply the full method to bring it back to the trinomial. But there's your answer, and there is your simplifying rational expressions.